So in science, one of the things is the most rewarding thing is to find out something new, something that nobody else knew. For a little while, you're the person who knows that first, and that's the really fun thing about doing experiments. You find out something and it's like, oh, I discovered this. And of course it was there before, but it's like, I found out how this works and I found out how this puzzle, sometimes the pieces of the puzzle fall in place. And it's just like, oh, that's so beautiful. And that's a really, really rewarding feeling, and probably the most rewarding thing in science. You never really know, but when things don't work the way you expect them to work, then you sometimes do question if it is to do with gender discrimination or other types of discrimination. I mean, one thing I will say that my husband and I are both academics. We both did our PhDs at the same time. We both moved to the UK in 2009, and then we both started working he started working in Cambridge and I started working in London. We both got the same fellowships, two types of fellowships, which are extremely prestigious, and we were going neck on neck. And then I had a child, and then my career slowed down, and then I had my first child, and then it slowed down, and he started his lab. He started heading a group. And then I had another child, so it still slowed down. And then after that, I started my lab. So I'm now 5 years behind him from having had two children, but like otherwise, until then, our careers were parallel to each other. Do I regret that? No. It is the way it is. But it is something that you have to accept as well, that there are differences in the way women can do things and the way men can do things, which is fine. But I just wish that, I don't know. Sometimes I just wonder what would have been in a different situation, right? But yeah, I think there's always the question as whether people really appreciate how much work it takes to bring up children. My mother, she was a school teacher, and then later on became a guidance counselor and was teaching, also helping students all along. And she was very, very well respected. But even this profession where, you get holidays, school holidays when your children are at home and all of that, still people were surprised that she worked, in that generation. I think, I know when I went to BITS Pilani, I was surprised to find that although there were, I think it was 60% women and 40% men in my batch that joined Pilani. Most people did not have mothers who worked, and they were surprised that my mother worked. And I think seeing that, for me, it was just normal, right? That that she worked, and she managed everything in the house as well. And we were fine, and we coped with all of that. And I think that was definitely changed my mindset, that I didn't even think that there was anything different, any other option available to me, really. That I would stand on my own 2 feet and always support myself and do what I wanted to do. That was it. But I think seeing also there are some really famous women scientists of Indian origin, Lalita Ramakrishnan, who works in university. She's a professor in the University of Cambridge. Anjana Rao, who's a professor in San Diego. And these people also, you see that and you see, okay, it's possible and I can do this. But one of the things that you realize is also that for every woman who makes it to some level of success, it's important that you show that you stand forward and say, okay, look, it is possible. I can do this. And if I can do this, then there's a possibility for you to do that too. But at the same time, to appreciate that not everybody has the same path and not everybody has the same aspirations as well. That we have to find what is right for ourselves as individuals. And one story that a student came and told me was that she said, "Oh, you realize you're the only female academic in this whole department." And she said, "Yeah." She said, "You know what? Another student came to me and told me, I see Mahima and I see how she's working and I see how hard she's working and how difficult it is for her. And I've decided this is not for me." And I was really surprised at that, right? Said, okay, but then on the other hand, I'm glad that also gave her that epiphany moment. She said, okay, this is not for me, and that's fine. Sometimes you have to inspire, you can inspire or have a positive impact, but this is also a positive impact in that sense that you realize that there is work. It is a lot of work, and it's probably more work if you're female. You have to decide that this is what you want to do. But it's okay to say, no, this is not what I want from my life.